Good morning. It's Sunday, December 10th, and as usual, we're going to attempt to solve today's New York Times crossword puzzle. Sundays are always a little bit tricky because the large grid makes it harder to find our errors. And I don't know, usually the most frustrating live solves I do are these Sunday solves. Didn't get a chance to do a Friday or Saturday. And in fact, yesterday, Saturday, broke my streak. You can see I'm sitting at a juicy zero right there. Wasn't that hard, but for some reason, the top left of the grid, the Northwest, just really hung me up. And after I revealed it, I was like, I'm surprised that this was the one that ended my, I don't know, 34-day streak, something like that. But you can see I've solved 23 Sundays in a row. That's pretty good. So hopefully today will be number 24 in a row. It's constructed by Zachary, David Levy, and Jeff Chen. Jeff Chen, formerly of X-Word Info fame, notoriety. Uh, he seems to be like a really consistent mentor of new constructors. I'm guessing that Zachary had, maybe a concept, and Jeff helped him execute it and put it into the grid in an elegant fashion that we're so accustomed to. It's Sunday. It's the weekend. It's been snowing a bunch here this weekend, and tomorrow is my birthday, so that's neat. I'm turning 42 years old, but I would prefer to just say I'm turning 21 for the second time. But yeah, kind of a chill day. I'm gonna go skiing a little bit, and probably treat myself to something nice tomorrow for my birthday. Some nice food and drink and whatnot. But today we're going to solve political punditry, hopefully, and I'm expecting we will get our share of political puns in this solve here. So, without further ado, let's do it. Hope you had a good week. Whiskered bottom dweller. I mean, I'm thinking about a catfish, but that's not big enough. So move on. A workout focus informally. Your core, your workout focus, your core. A tube traveler. Tube traveler. Well, that's someone like a Brit, maybe. Someone who travels on the tube. Someone who minds the gap. BOGO or YOLO are, well, those are acronyms, right? But acronym doesn't fit here. Um, a 10 spot. So, I mean, a 10 spot, like to me, is like a Hamilton, right? Like Alexander Hamilton's on the $10 bill, but that's not going to fit. So I don't know. It's possible we have a rebus going on here, like Jabba the Hutt. Well, he's obese. I hope that's the answer. Otherwise, I'm just fat shaming this fella. The club's bouncer earned a living. I mean, that immediately makes me think it's a soccer thing, but I don't know. Subjects of some cautionary tales. Things with keys. Well, like a map. Maps have keys, right? Organization overseeing workers' well-being. It's probably OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Association. A treatment spa, you get treatment site is the spa where you get your treatments. Insurance giant acquired by CVS. I want to say this is Aetna. What do we got here? Flat Earth. It feels like it might be Terra, Terra. Key West to Maine. Could that be IS1? That feels appropriate, right? Oh, that didn't help a whole lot. A bump on a log, say. Is that like an ant? It's like those when you used to take a stick of celery and put peanut butter and the raisins were the ants. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then that sounds like nonsense. The fashion magazine editor focused on fasteners in her something. A hubbub is a big to do, a big ado. Um, could be a couple things. The Coyotes. Is that Phoenix? What we got up to? This feels like Till, Til. So oh yeah, so maybe Arizona, Arizona with a preview in a social media post. We'll try Arizona. We're just gonna try that, see how it feels. A leader of a flock could be like a pastor, veterinarian specialized in mending. So we don't know what this theme is yet. We know that it's got something to do with political puns, but beyond that, we're not sure. So most wan, like palest. Yeah, it's to be internet service provider. I'm gonna say this is palest. Wrath is ire. Obnoxious sort. A seaside rental. Event that might have mutton busting. Well, that's a rodeo. Um, around here, we go to the stock show, and that's we see some mutton busting. One way to wish is on a star, so I feel good about that confirmation. This doesn't look good though. Musical feature in Swan Lake. Hmm. Like this double B seems odd, right? Cautionary tales, is that like no nos? Flat Earth. I don't know. It seems like I might have something wrong up there, but we'll come back to that. I'm just gonna circle back. Japanese maker of watches and mobile phones. Is that like Nokia, Seiko, Omega, Little Old Me? Is that like moi? Online command denoted by an arrow inside of a cloud. Denoted by an arrow inside of a cloud. Well, I mean, that's like download or upload. Upload? Could be. Something day will come. Our day will come. Does that feel good? Rent. Hmm. Not sure. And these themers, I have no idea what's going on with these themers, so I'm gonna need some down crossers to help me out. Big name in filters. Oh, Brita. Unagi or anago. I think those are both eel. Words for eel. Family on TV's Smallville. Well, those are the Kents, Clark Kent and his family. Groundskeeper, blah, blah, blah. Besson, who directed The Fifth Element. I like The Fifth Element, but I don't know who directed it. A food critic's asset is palate. Is that how you spell palate? This would be use me. I'm at your disposal, use me. Ex Giant Manning, Eli Manning. Hate that guy because I'm a Patriots fan and he just ruined our life on two very specific days. Extreme lethargy would be like ennui, I'm guessing. Inner self in Jungian philosophy. Inner self. Business card abbreviation. Instrument heard at the conclusion of Bohemian Rhapsody. Huh. I'm going to need some help on that one. Courtroom affirmation, like I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. French term of endearment, like mon ami. The weary general sat in his blah blah. Orange sources, like a grove. That's where oranges come from, right? Item of clothing patented by Mary Phelps Jacob. I'm gonna say that's a bra. Niche. Carpenter measured twice for the ideal something. Emmy winner Aduba. It's done in barrels, like aging a whiskey or something. Salted rim for your margarita. Natural hairstyles. That's probably froze, as in afros. Green region on a risk board is Asia. Used to play a lot of risk with my buddies back in the day. Haven't done that in a while. Swelters, like boils or something. I'm gonna say that's boils, and this is a cabal, right? Southwestern. Oh, and that's agave. Swelters, like bakes. Could be. The paid escort was fined for being an escort. Stave off is avert. How subway cars are packed during rush hour, like densely. Place of birth, education, work history, etc. A haggler hopes to pay less. Changed words. Vows. Like some rehab. I don't know. So 840. That's a decent first pass. I mean, we got enough here to work with. And we'll see how these downs treat us. Still no idea what's going on with the themer, though. Polite term of address I'm going to say is ma'am, where Carol Burnett studied theater arts for short. Is it like UCLA or something? UCLA. Just happened to mention some famous people. Well, that feels like name drop, but like, oh, drop a name. Drop names. Drop names. A bump on a log. Okay. So is this like a mud cat? Eat. Ang Lee. I'm gonna say this is mud cat. An eye for an eye. Oh, and it is acronym. Why did I think that didn't fit there? Pubs bouncer earned a living along something. Eat. Oh yeah, consume. Consume. An eye for an eye would be a typo. Okay, I feel okay about that. A low island would be a key. A hole puncher would be an awl. My dad likes to reference this old, I think it's a New Yorker thing, comic, and a leather worker who's gesturing to his son, and he says, "Son, someday this all will be yours," and he's referring to his all, his actual all. So shout out, Dad. Workout focus informally. I don't really know what that is. Oh, cardio. There we go. 19 down for a cleanup hitter. It's probably going to be an RBI, right? Kristen Dunst. Oh, a sawbuck is a 10 spot. Summer cooler is an ice pop. Something. Oh, Oksana Bayul. What is this? Clubs bouncer earn a living along party lines. Okay. Sure, why not? A musical feature. So I feel like something might be wrong there. Went trekking. Went trekking. So could Brit be wrong? Oh yeah, because Brit. So this would be like an oboe solo, right? And this could be US. US one? US one. A flat earth. Oh, mesas. This is tube. Oh, ovum, like a tube, like a fallopian tube, and like an egg. Ventured out. Okay. A whiskey ingredient is mash, like sour mash. That's a stat. Key to Plato is row, right? And what is this? Magazine's editor focused on fasteners in her hot button issue. It's solo. There you go. What do we got here? Bump on a log. Is that like a nut? A nub? Physique would be bod slangily, so I guess it's nub. Beverage brand with antioxidants. Something with a preview in a social media post. A URL. What is this? Hubbub. Oh, like a clamor. What is this? Click stick. Name hidden in I smell a rat. That's Lara, Lara. A code for a cookout. Code for a cookout. Plot device for many a soap opera. Is that like a coma? Eccentric. Relative of camembert is a brie. Lead into sacrifice or service or sacrifice. Self-service, self-sacrifice. Dr. Seuss, it looks like here. This our day will come. Rent is like tore or torn. Interesting you see rent like that because like I don't know, to rend, this is the past tense of rend something. What is this? Veterinarian specializes in mending lame duck bills, right? Lame duck bills. Oh, and this is Casio. Code for a cookout. Oh, is a rub. Noxious sort is a boar. Eccentric is a kook. Oh, seaside retreat would be like an ebbing tide. Customer service assistant is a bot. Ebb. Cry of frustration. Bah. Goddess. So is that Isis? This must be the speaker something. Goes for opts for Isis. Speaker. Speakers of the house. And tour, that works. Game divided into periods is polo. I used to write like some short stories, and I had the beginning of a short story that took place at a polo club on the polo grounds, and it was called Grounds for Divorce. Never really finished it, but I thought that was a fun, clever name for a story on at a polo club. A hockey fake is a deek. Virgil Earp of the movie Tombstone, one of my all-time faves. There's also Morgan Earp, so love that guy. Kickback is to rest. Brooding bunch. Oh, those are hens, right? So it's not ennui. Strongly suspecting, like onto. Singer Mars is Bruno Mars. Velodrome vehicles are racing bikes. Something rock. Glam rock, is that right? I spent years studying. I'm going to say this is glam. Luc Besson. Grassroots movement. That's a fun one. Kind of milk, oat milk. Encouraging shout, Olay. Soft powder is a talc. Fifth brightest star in the night sky. Race. Chinese dynasties of the Ming Dynasty. Okay. Where one might store sheet music. So-called all-father of myth. Is that like Odin? Rory McIlroy. So what is this? Extreme lethargy. This is like anima. Salts are mariners. Anima. Amongst. Okay. The Vitamin Shop competitor, oh, is GNC, something Nutrition Center. I've had it. Okay. Obliques are those your abs, maybe? Reason to remove metal accessories is an MRI. MRIs are no fun. Weary general sat in his campaign something. Butter bit. Campaign. Pat of butter. Campaign chair. Grand finale. Grand cru, like for a wine. Things indicated by yellow signage. What is this? Niche is like a cranny, maybe? Light store sheet music, a piano. Piano seat. Things indicated by a yellow signage. I want to say hazmats. Hazards. Company acquired by Morgan Stanley. Oh, that's E-Trade. Cabinet positions. So we do indeed have some political punditry. Having needles as a cactus. Spined or spiny. Muscat native is an Omani, one from Oman. Dicey is iffy. Foe is an orc. Neophyte is a noob. Small cut is a slit. Analogy words like is to. Pronto, ASAP. Winter hours. I can never remember. This is Central Standard Time. Paid escort was fined for undershirt is a T. Tired is like old. Melted mess. Biodata. Exchanged words. Oh, edited. This is old. An act of rehab. So that's post-op rehab. SNP. An act of Congress. And this must be a gong. All right. Well, we did it. And the main thing is that we didn't get to the end and wonder where our mistakes were, because we didn't have any. So I love that. Managed to kind of crank through this Sunday. It was hardly easy, but I don't know. Everything made sense, and so it was a pretty intuitive solve. I didn't have to scratch my head a whole lot on this one. 21-11. I'd say for a Sunday, that's like about best case scenario. Didn't get hung up too much, and we did get our political puns as promised. So let's do a quick review and see what we got here. A mudcat. I feel like this is like a mascot for a minor league baseball team, the Mudcats, and perfect minor league baseball name. Cardio, yuck. Ovum, fine. Acronym. I don't know why I thought that acronym had so many more letters than this, because that is what I immediately thought it was when I read the clue. Sawbuck. I don't know why this is called a sawbuck, but there you go. Jabba the Hutt is obese. Let's be nice to him, though. This is the first of our theme answers, our political puns. The club's bouncer earned a living along party lines. So, like, it's fine. along party lines, hot button issues, lame duck bills, speakers of the House, grassroots movement, campaign chair, cabinet position, and act of Congress. Like they're all pretty on brand. They all work well with this theme. None of them are too much of a stretch, and I don't think it really hurt the rest of the fill a whole lot. I like the construction of this puzzle too, where it's just there's never any big splotches of black areas. This is a pretty elegantly executed puzzle, constructed puzzle. No nos, cautionary tale. Yep. Maps have keys. OSHA, spa treatment, Etna, nub, hot button issues, clamor. I really like that word clamor. I don't feel like we don't see it a ton. Just a good word. Arizona Coyotes. Sure, I don't know much about the NHL and certainly not about Arizona NHL, but there you go. Pastor leads our flock. Lame duck bills. Palest. Ire, boar, ebb, rodeo. Um, I know a guy who was on scholarship in college for rodeo, which I don't know, can't imagine what that looks like. Casio. This is throwing me off because it looks so much like casino, but it's not. Little old meme, wah, upload. Um, am I crazy or like, do you also, can you download using that same icon in some instances? Like it's in the cloud and you like download it to your device, or am I just making that up? Our day will come. I have no idea who's saying that or what, but it happened 60 years ago. 1963 was 60 years ago. Um, Speakers of the House, Brita filter. I need to buy some new Brita filters. That's a good reminder. Unagi or Anago, Clark Kent and Fam, grassroots movement. I like that one. I mean, I think that's one of my favorite ones this um, of this theme. The groundskeeper studied grassroots. Makes sense. Luc Besson. I wonder what else he has directed. Palette, Eli, Extreme Lethargy. I'm pretty sure I've seen this in a puzzle before and complained about it. I don't really know what so poor is, but that's as far as answers go. That one is so poor. And Anima, Carl Jung, right? I don't really know anything about that. Business card abbreviation, telephone. I feel like that's pretty dated, but hey, what are you gonna do? A gong. I'm trying to think. I'm like trying to hear the gong at the end of that song, but I don't. I can't really. And I thought this was generally probably the hardest part. It's the last part I filled in, but Gong, crossing Vega, crossing Eloi, Ming Dynasty, just kind of a tough little mini section there. I do Mon Ami. So we've had some other French. We have Moi, right? Luc Besson. He feels like a French guy. Do we have any other French in here so far? I feel like palette might come from the French. I don't know. Campaign chair, Orange Grove, bra, cranny, cabinet position, Uzo Aduba. And I know I've seen that one in puzzles before, and I have no idea what this person won an Emmy for, but kudos to them. Aging, Rim, Froze, Asia, Bakes, an act of Congress, avert, Hensley, biodata. I was recently on a hike with some people and they had like, fitness watches that track all the things. And I don't have one of those. And all of a sudden it was like, wow, am I missing out on all this like really good data about my health? But then the flip side was like, well, but like now I'm not in the woods looking at my watch. So I don't know. It's a fine line, but we should all try to have more information about our bodies, but we should all also try not to look at our watches when we're in the woods. So, what are you going to do? Hagler hopes to pay less. Edited, post op, ma'am, UCLA. I mean, it's kind of an odd way to clue that. Again, feels super dated. Like UCLA is relevant in sports and education and just like pop culture. The fact that it's near Hollywood kind of gives it some other added options. I don't know. Carol Burnett like feels like a really old reference. If you were going to drop names, Carol Burnett might not ring all the bells that you're hoping. Consume, Ang Lee, Typo, K, Key. How do you say this is Key? Sunday Sun, someday Sun, this all will be yours. Just remember that. An RBI, Kirsten Dunst of 1995's Jumanji. I gotta think Kirsten Dunst has been in something relevant since then, but what do I know? Ice Pop, Oksana Bayul. So there's definitely some tough names, kind of mixed in throughout this puzzle. So Oksana Bayul is one of them. I mean, haven't heard her name in a while. An oboe solo musical feature, like Peter and the Wolf. I guess the oboe solo I am kind of aware of. Didn't know so much about Swan Lake. I've never seen Swan Lake. Yeah, oboe solo. Why not? Ventured out. US1 Mesas. Mash for your whiskey. I do love a good whiskey, and so into that one. Wish on a Star. Row. Bod, as in dad bod. BAI, beverage brand with antioxidants. I'm not familiar with that. At first, I was thinking palm, like that pomegranate juice, but I was thinking wrong. URL, TIL, ISP, Click Stick. I'm guessing that's made by Bic, the Bic Click Stick. Very alliterative. Kind of weird. I mean, are we just throwing Lara under the bus? Like, is Lara the rat here? And there's some unspoken negative connotation with the name Lara. I don't know. It just seems like an odd way to clue that. There's people named Lara you could use. A rub for your meat before you get into a meat coma. Kook is an eccentric person. My buddy Matt used to have a homemade tattoo on his knee that said just the word kook, Kook. And it was probably my favorite thing about him. And he got it covered up because we're too old to have kook tattoos, I guess. But I'll always think of him as a kook. Brie, some more French stuff. Self-sacrifice, whatever. Dr. Seuss. Tor, Bot, Ba, ISIS. A lot of short stuff. I mean, there is definitely a lot of short fill. Use Me, Polo, Chuckers, Grounds for Divorce. There you go. Hockey Fake is a Deek, Virgil Earp. And I kind of like how they did this. Like if you said Wyatt Earp, it's just kind of a gimme. But it's, if you're familiar with a little bit of that part of history, you can get this. And you don't need to know all of the history of the OK Corral to get it. Rest, hens, onto Bruno Mars, racing bikes. I've actually seen a velodrome race, but it seems pretty cool. I think that's where they're like riding around in those like cages, right? Glam rock. I mean, when I think of glam rock, I'm thinking like Bowie. T-Rex doesn't really ring those bells for me. Oat milk, Olay milk, talc milk, Vega, ELOI. I know I've seen this before. I don't really get the reference though, or why I'm supposed to know it. Ming Dynasty, piano seat. And this I don't love because like pianos have a specific type of seat, a bench, right? Piano bench would be the more common phrase. Odin, another potentially tough name. Rory McIlroy, another potentially tough name. Seattle Mariners, amongst GNC, IVE, ABS, MRI, Pat, Grand Cru, more French stuff, Hazards, E-Trade, Spined. And this one, I mean, I feel like spined or spiny, both kind of make sense here. Um, yeah, I don't know. A cabal, agave. Well, that seems to go hand in hand with the cactus spines, right? Spined cactus, and then we get to agave here. Same neck of the woods. Omani, Iffy, Orc, Noob, Snip, Is to ASAP, CSTT, Old, and Goo. Didn't really end on a strong note there. So there is, quite a bit of kind of blah fill, generic stuff, but there's enough other stuff that really like I don't know, kind of offset it a bit. And this didn't feel like a boring solve at all. Partly because of all the challenging names, partly because I never really had a great handle on where my theme answers were going to come from. But yeah, pretty good Sunday solve. Not too tough, but tough enough. And most importantly, didn't give me too much guff on this live solve deal, where sometimes I get myself into some hot water on Sundays because Sundays are a grind. But that's it. I feel like I rambled sufficiently at the start of the video and the end of the video, and thanks to you, Mon Ami, for joining me on this Sunday. Really appreciate that. As always, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. That's all that good YouTube stuff that keeps me hovering in this holding pattern of not having very many likes or subscribers. But it turns out you need like 1 billion subscribers to do anything significant on YouTube. So I've kind of given up on that, and just want to make sure you guys are tuning in and getting the wonderful crossword content that you came here for. So that's all my rambling for today. I'll probably come back like maybe Thursday might be my next live solve, and hope you'll join me then. In the meantime, if you see me out tomorrow, please wish me a happy birthday because it's my 21 times 2 birthday. And otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.